What's up everybody, welcome to Moto. Today we're going to try to hook up some of the electronics for the gauge. So to begin, the gauge has one main kind of wire harness with a bunch of the outputs. These will need to be all rearranged and made to match the wiring harness on the bike. What we will be plugging into is this green one that comes out of the stock odometer, and then there are two more in here under the tank. So this green one, and there's a white one in there as well. That I'll remove the tank so you guys can actually see that, and I'll start mapping them up little by little, adding more features as I go, and wiring it up. Alright, so I took the tank off, and I brought the old gauge just so we can compare with all of the outlets here and know what the fuck we're doing. So the small one that's here connects to this one that comes out of the old odometer. We have the green and the white in here, which this is the green, and I believe the white is 6, yeah, so the white is this one. And then we have the brown and the white, brown being the brown in here, and the white being the white in here. So from what I could gather, I believe for the most part, we have a number of the speedometer, tachometer signals coming in from this one. We also have a bunch of the blinkers, headlight signal, and some of the other stuff coming out of this one. The white one over here, I believe this one carries all of the gear positions and something else. The brown one, I have to double check, but there was a bunch. There's essentially a large warning console inside of this box that displays errors on these little screens, and I think a lot of it is controlled by these cables. I have them mapped out, and I'll start to wire them in one by one. I'm probably going to cut these ends off and reuse these just so I have a better connection on these. And I have my current setup, what it came with. So these will all be cut, regrouped, and plugged in accordingly. So here we go. Alright, so first order of business, I took off the connectors from the harness from the gauge itself, and now I'm gonna cut these guys off, or remove these from the old gauge, and start mapping the basic stuff. So I believe first on the list is ground, the direct power, and the switch power. So once we have those, we're going to actually test it, see if it turns on. If that's good, we're going to move on to the other things. Okay, so I got the basic wiring. So we have the ground, the switch, and the direct battery power. And when we put the battery in, put the switch in, flip it on, boop, turns on. Alright, so far so good. Just moving on to the next little bits. Alright, so I did some more wiring. I have a little bit more plugs in here. Actually, I haven't plugged this one in. So some of the stuff seems like on the old bike will only come on once the bike is actually running. So obviously we're not going to get a reading for some of these, but there we go. So we start the bike, we have the neutral light on. We have the blinkers. Right now the blinker relay is, for whatever reason, not firing. I think it's the battery, because it also doesn't have enough juice to turn over the engine. So I'm assuming it's that. The high beam, for whatever reason, is wired incorrectly, but is not turning on. So maybe that has to be wired to something else. And then we have the gears. So I got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then fifth, fourth, third, second, first, neutral. So gearing works. I believe the fuel gauge will also only come on when the bike is on. So we'll have to see how that works. And I have a few more wires here that I believe are for the speed gauge and the tacho. So once we get a new battery, we should try this and see how that goes. But for now, pretty good. I mean, it's quite bright. I don't know if you guys can see how bright it is. Alright, so after tucking in the wires a little bit better, we have everything back together. Ignition turns on. We have the neutral. Blinkers. Still no power with this battery. High beam still isn't working, but I think it's because of the way the bike is wired. So that will only come on whenever the power is actually on. The other good news is that if I put the ignition on, you can see the RPM getting bleeped. So you saw it go up a little bit. The entire thing is flashing, which is great. So we might actually be able to get an RPM reading once the bike actually starts. So oh, we're getting a battery reading as well. Alright, so that's pretty good. I think that is it for today. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode. We got the gauge wired in. Some of the wires still need a little bit of cleanup and some waterproofing. But overall I'm happy with the results. We're getting some readings. Next, I believe what I'll do is I'm going to get the new battery and new rectifier so I can actually get the bike started and resolve that stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, click the little bell for notifications when new videos become available. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at balkanmoto2018 and check out my website, balkanmoto.com, where I post articles accompanying each of these videos. So thanks for watching and see you next time.